So today we're talking about the 5 ways to encourage others. And as we know, today we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King, one of the most influential men in our history. There are so many things that he did to encourage and empower others around him. Now, you may just remember him from the I Have a Dream speech or Selma. Maybe you watched that, and so you know him at the front of the march, and you know him for a lot of those big moments. But what you may not know him for are the small, individual, like one-on-one or little things that he was doing along the way that helped empower and encourage people as he went. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to learn 5 things from Dr. King today. Now, think about this. Communication, encouragement, as we think of ways that we can encourage others, remember that encouragement is not about what we think is effective. You know, if I keep on saying I love you to my wife over and over and over, is she really feeling love for me? Because I'm thinking words of affirmation. I mean, saying it over and over is like showing my love. But maybe to her, she needs me to do more service. She needs me to clean up around the house. She needs me to take care of the kids. She needs me to do more action than speaking, right? And if I don't connect with someone on that deeper level where I understand what's most effective to them, then I'm really not as effective as I could be. And I risk hitting, missing over and over and over. So make sure before we get started that you know this person, that you know these people, and that you're really finding out not only what motivates them, not only what communication method, but really how to encourage them in the right way as the receiver, not only as the giver. All right, so let's jump in. 2.5 minutes in, let's jump right in to number 1. Number 1 way to encourage: be present and engage. This week, my top post was this quote right here. The best portion of your life will be the small, nameless moments you spend smiling with someone who matters to you. You know, sometimes just engaging with someone, just active listening, right? Asking questions, genuinely caring, paraphrasing can mean more to them than you can ever imagine. Whether it's kids, whether it's coworkers, whether it's people you're managing, it doesn't really matter. Being there, fully there, without the electronics is so important. In my post, I talk about a leadership development session or seminar that we recently went to where they asked us to act out with our partner as if they were the least important person in the world. And then as we went through this, at the snap of a finger, they were the most important person in the world. And think about what changed physically, mentally, emotionally. Everything changes. So go ahead and read that post a little bit deeper and think about how do you treat people who are the most important in your life? It's time to be present and engage with people. Number 2, write a note. I'm going to keep this very simple. When was the last time you had a written note, a handwritten note, and what made it so impactful to you? Probably it was genuine. It was unexpected. It was specific. Make sure you're writing a note to the people that are most important to you. How awesome would it be if I walked in and my manager had written a nice little note for me and said, just a tiny one, that said, you're important to the team. Something so simple. Number 3, give more. You know, it's time for us to give more. Did you know that research shows that giving more, whether it's money, whether it's your time, whether it's even compassion, whether it's having empathy for others, increases the brain activity that's similar to sweets or having that cigarette or whatever you think you're addicted to, that happiness that you feel, giving to others and putting others first and doing that activity actually creates the same type of brain activity. So you're actually happier when you give more. So I encourage you to give more. Whether it's helping someone with a carpool when their car has died for the week and you're going to take them, buying lunch for someone, taking someone out for coffee. Or a lady sat down with me the other day at Starbucks, just randomly sat down. And I was like, yeah, pull it up. Found out it was her birthday the next. It was like, let's go buy you a drink. It's natural things that we want to do, but I encourage you to do it. And here's another one. And I talk about one that's pretty awesome here in the post, and it's called giving people a voice, a platform. And that's what Dr. King was so famous for doing, and helped so many people with their beliefs being able to articulate and giving them that platform. Sometimes that's the gift that we can give to others as well. So think outside the box and be creative with it. Another one is be in the trenches. Be in the trenches with people. Have you ever had the manager or the person that told you to do something, but then didn't go through it with you? And how engaged were you? How encouraging was that? If your team has to stay late or they have to work on the weekend, why are you not there? Right? Just as simple as that. If you're asking your kids to clean up, why are you not the first to help clean? It's as simple as being in the trenches. Dr. King was right there in the front lines. He was the first to go to jail. He was there with his people, with all the people. And he was that, not only the voice, not only person preaching, but he was also there walking the walk. All right? So make sure that you're in the trenches with those you want to encourage. And then finally, I talk about being honest with yourself. The bottom line is two things. Number one, you're never going to be encouraging to everyone. You're never going to be able to reach everyone. Some people are just, I say, unencourageable, but it's as simple as that. They will not be reached, or your style doesn't match, and that's okay. The faster that we can realize that, get over it, move on, the better. And then the second point is, we all have our own leadership styles. We all have our own communication styles. We also have our own encouragement styles. If I'm really abrasive with people and I hold people to a certain expectation and I hold them to a higher level and I get a lot out of people and my team and the people that I work with and the people that I'm around or my kids are really encouraged by the way that I hold them to a higher standard, and that's just my style, well, that's fantastic. But if someone next to me or someone around me sees that and tries to emulate that, tries to act as that, and that's not their genuine style, that's going to come off when I try to enforce that. Or, I'm encouraging, I'm loving, I'm that type of encourager. And then all of a sudden I turn around and I start enforcing rules and I start talking abruptly and I start emulating what that other person who I saw was effective. That's not going to work. So realize that we all have our own style, and be yourself. Be honest. Be truthful. Be real, and you'll find that people will be encouraged by that. So, we've talked about 5 ways to encourage others. Number 1, be present and engage. Number 2, very, very simply, write a note. Give more is number 3. Be in the trenches and be honest with yourself. I'm anxious to hear what other ways you found as both the giver and the receiver of encouragement that you found to be effective. Please send me a note, write a comment, and what I would ask you to do is to share this with others. Sometimes the best way we can encourage is to share things that mean a lot to us. So I ask you to share this video, this content with others, like the page on Facebook, subscribe to the channel. If you're loving what we're doing, let's get it out there. We're on Twitter, we're on everywhere, and let's get it out there as much as we can. And remember, it's very, very simple. This is one of my favorite quotes. Be an encourager. The world has plenty of critics already. Take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.